Oh, wait. Oh, fine. I didn't get this all cleaned up. That's okay. People will see. No, just F5 it. Go. Thank you. Yeah, see? Let's get the size right. I messed up the size. There we go. There we go. All right.
The delay isn't that magically done for you?
What, the size?
Yeah.
Not the way I'm capturing it.
Ah,
I have to size my windows just right.
interesting. All right.
All kinds of different things. I have tried capturing the presentation, but it doesn't work the way I want it to. Basically, is what it comes down to. Oh, let's get back to the intro. All right, here we go. Alrighty then. Hopefully everybody's out there doing stuff, having a good time. What's this little button? New button here. Oh, I can now. Okay. I can now react to people's comments in chat in OBS with one click. It looks like. Well, two. I'll hover and a click. All right, that's fine.
What is this new button here?
Yeah, exactly.
And you click it.
I did not click it. I hovered.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's better.
It was a little heart floating over the chat. So it's like, wow. All right. Is it? Yeah. Okay. Stream has started. Okay. Well, that looks good. There we go. You should click the button. All right. I'll click the button. That's a good idea. Let's do that. Boom. Oh, I have to sign in. Haha. No, I'm not gonna do that right now. Oh, and then a closed chat. See, that's what I get for listening to that. Listening to chat. Rod and YouTube chat. There, chat is disabled for this live stream. Whatever. I guess okay. Well, that's what I get. That's right. I don't use that anyway. Because it's too far off the wrong screen. I just have YouTube Studio up so I can see chat. Hey, Bert, welcome. All right, it is the 16th. Yes, good. I got the date right at least. Oh, long pause between that song. Oh, next song just comes in real nice and quiet. There we go. All right. Whee! All right. Let's go ahead and go. Getting the ready to meeting. All right. Whew. I have not felt well last few days. Actually, last week and a half or so. In fact, I'm going to sneeze.
Auto mute on sneeze.
All right, it didn't happen.
Very cool feature.
Yeah, I don't know what it would do. It didn't happen, so it'll probably happen later, right when in the middle of the intro.
Yep, for sure.
Didn't have a bright enough light here. Oh, we were melting the last few days here. Holy cow. Got up into like 90.
What?
Yeah, it was
happens
crazy.
like 2 times a year.
And it's still in spring, which is kind of scary.
That's not good.
Yeah, so it was like, whoo, it got hot. And, they don't have air conditioning at schools, so the kids are like, they have fans and coming home and saying, hey, does anybody have a fan they can send with their kid? I'm like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. But then last night a thunderstorm came through, also something that doesn't happen. And now we're back down to 62. So that's a good thing, but it's like, yeah, I know 90 is not that hot. I spent enough time in misery, but it is up here. A lot of people don't have air conditioning. So.
That's the key.
Yes.
I don't remember which year it was that I actually got a motel room. Because I'm like,
nope.
It was 95, 96. Like, nope.
Done and done. All right, 9:32. All right, well, small group so far. At least people have said hi. Might be other people hiding out there, but we'll see. We'll get started our usual, about 5 after, see if Jacob shows up. Oh, I know part of the problem. I forgot to push the tweet button thing.
Yes, you did.
Boom, boom, boom. There we go. All right. Week of rain here. Oh, that sounds like normal for us here. I don't know where here is, so maybe that's unusual for you, but we'll do that. That's good. Come back here. That's good. Update this. I mean, a week of rain would not be unusual for us right now.
Although you're getting, it's mid-May. You're kind of leaving the prime rain season.
Southwest Mo. Oh, Southwest Mo. So is that like Centralia? I went to university at Rolla, which is kind of, it's not exactly Southwest Mo. It's South Central Missouri. Southwest Mo. Wow. Southwest. Yeah, that's the right way. Centralia's the right way. Hello, Christopher. Maybe we'll get started here in a minute, roughly. Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, El Nino and all that affects you guys. So this heat wave we're getting up here is crazy. Very unusual. My son is such a wimp. He's such a Northwest kid. He's like, oh, it's 80 degrees. It's so hot.
Is he complaining about this while he's playing soccer?
Well, he complains a little bit. But to be fair, they're playing on turf, so it's another 10 degrees. So when it was 90 last night at 5:30 to 7 o'clock, they're running around and, it was hot. Plus, turns out he had a sinus infection, so he was just being run down into the ground, and we just didn't know yet.
Yep. That's good enough reason to complain.
Yeah, he's just like, I just can't do that. Carthage, Missouri. Wow. That's cool. I haven't thought about those places in a long time. All right, where are we at? 9:35? I think we may be starting without Jacob today. Just a second here. I am also sick. I blame my son, but because it's true. He probably got it from school. Central Indiana is pretty nice for last week. Central Indiana. Oh, yeah, you guys can get some nasty weather too. All right, I think we probably should go ahead and get this thing going, right?
Sure.
Yeah,
why not?
So it's 9:35. Jacob will have to catch up. I'm sure he could do that. All right, let's see. If I push that button, I think it does everything. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the WiX Online Meeting 258. Halfway through May, all of us are talking about the weather that we've been having, at least those of us in chat. If you're not here with us right here, right now, these meetings are recorded for you, and it will end up on YouTube. What are we doing today? A lot like we did last week. We're going to say hi. So everybody that's in chat, Zach, Bert, Christopher, welcome. And anybody else, go ahead and say hi. It's lovely to have you. We will do our WiX 4 V1 release review, aka we're just going to say, yep, this is what we're doing. That'll be really quick. And then we'll do issue review and triage. That is the bulk of today. We'll go through the new triage issues. We'll go through the 401 issues just to talk about the things that are still open. And we will talk about V5, V future. Well, thank you very much for the congratulations getting V4 out the door. You'll be able to come back in about 3 weeks and congratulate us on getting 401 out the door, because that's what we're doing. Thank you for that beautiful segue, Elf Boy. Release June 5th, 2023. There's no new information on this slide. It is just confirmation about what we are doing for 401. We have 3 weeks minus a day, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 minus a day. To finish all these things, and we will then release June 5th, 2023, a WiX 401 that mop up all of the bigger issues that people didn't find in all of those RCs we did. But I'm not bitter. Only a little bit, but not really. It's all right. All right, so 401, no big deal, no surprises here. Everybody that's been following along knows that this is coming, and that June 5th was the date we decided upon 2 months after the WiX 4 release. but we want to talk about V5 stuff and all that other kinds of things. So to do that, we need to kind of work our way through all the issues and review all the new issues, current issues, and future issues, which is what we're going to do today before we start spending a bit more time on focusing on new like features and things like that. But let's go jump over to GitHub real quick. Bob, you ready?
I'm ready.
Ta-da! All right, here we are. We have 10 open issues and 2 closed already. That's interesting. To triage. So we'll start at the top, which is I think the oldest, and we will work our way down to the ones that were open most recently. YouTube mobile is not so good. Couldn't find the chat window. Oh, well, welcome, Jacob. We're glad you're here, even if it is by phone. All right, here we go. 7379 internal WiX UI bootstrap. WiX internal UI bootstrap application screen flash. So I think this is that. Yeah, Christopher confirmed that this is that a one pixel bitmap splash screen can actually solve all the UAC problems. So this is back in triage. Bob, you put this back in triage. The thinking being,
It's currently assigned to 401.
And with this small workaround, we probably can wait to do more aggressive changes for 5.
That was my thinking.
Yeah, I think that's probably the best thing to do, especially given some of the things we're thinking about in 5. I think we should let this slide into 5. How about we move it into 5 to remind us about this issue as we go there?
Sounds good.
All right, and I think you give it to me because the change will be interesting. All right,
Okay.
Let's do that. Cool. Thank you, Painter. All right, so next one, 7465. NBA native DLL isn't included in the .NET Framework NBA UI payloads. That's correct. It is not automatically included for you. You could argue that maybe it should, but it doesn't have to. No, I think we're just going to let, Jacob, we're not going to try to automatically add a pixel. We'll just let people do that and then go from there. Because we're going to do a much different change, I think. Unless someone really wants to put in a 1 pixel fix in 401. Maybe, is that possible? That might be really tricky.
Yeah, I would not. I'd be really nervous.
No, because it's gonna, then people that actually want to put their own will run into it. Yeah, that has all kinds of problems. I think it's just a matter of like, yeah, have a splash screen, and this will work for you if you want to do that. And for
it will be apparent. I mean, this isn't something that only shows up on user machines.
Right.
As soon as you run a test, you'll be good.
And if you search for it, an issue, you'll be like, oh, that's a workaround. All right, that's fine. So we'll go from there. All right. So the content here is, yeah, you can add NBA native as content yourself. I agree that this is kind of weird. Let's give this to me in 5 because we're going to kind of work around with this as well and we can change it. But this is the way it works in WiX 4. And I agree it takes a little bit extra step to make it happen. But as you could tell, we've been thinking about some of these speed bumps and what we could do for them in 5. So we'll talk about that in a bit. Oh, I didn't get a chance to try this one. 7466. So far behind. -D doesn't work when you're using .NET tool WiX from the command line. I expect there's some behavior that -D is being picked up with the .NET tool, but I haven't given this a try. You can also use the -define in place of -D and everything will work. So the workaround right now is to use -define if you're using .NET tool WiX from the command line.
And this is only for a project local installation.
Correct. Okay. Where you do .NET WiX and then you do a local tool install and then you say .NET WiX. And I'm like, yeah, the -D is interesting. Something about .NET is picking up the -D, and I bet there's probably some subtle thing they have documented somewhere that -D means something to them, and they're pulling it up. There might be like .NET. This is the thing I haven't tried. I think you might be able to do .NET dash dash right here in between. Yeah, okay, that shows up right between the .NET and the WiX, and I think that's like I could be making this up, but I thought there was something where you could do dash dash, and that would tell the rest of it. Hey, this is a command line for the command versus command line arguments for .NET. Anyway, it's some interaction between those two things. Give this to me in 5, and we can look at maybe changing the way that this works in 5 to handle this. But in 4, just use the workaround with dash define, and we'll go look at this in 5 preview, get to the root of it, see if maybe we should pick a different switch or something, or better document it. But only for local builds. If you use a global tool install, which is what I've preferred to do, there are no problems there. All right. 7470, directory ref file source should default to that of a directory source. Directory file source, right? And then you have a directory ref over here. Yeah, this is not at all how this works. I think we talked about this 2 weeks ago, that these file sources flow down to the child components. They are not like burned into it. And we talked about how this could all be done differently, but it's not the design of WiX right now. So how do you tie these together? Essentially, if someone wanted to do it, it's like kind of you have to redesign the way that these things work to meet these expectations. It's a completely different design, and it will break anybody that expects it to work the way it does right now. There's all kinds of issues to think about working through this. Can we tie these two together? And then, because they're marked whip required, right? I thought that's what we did. Yeah. So why don't we just tie this one to that one, or close this? Can we close this as another feature to refer to that one as the parent?
Well, I see this one as a little different because it is requesting the it's requesting that the directory remember the file source.
Yep.
So that it's around in the directory ref, which is
it's a totally reasonable way of looking at it.
Yeah, it's also fraught with peril, especially when you get into relative paths and stuff like that. But it is not unreasonable to expect it to work like that.
Yeah. So this is not a bug. This is the way it works, and that's why I was thinking we could close this, but link it to the other one as a This is not a bug, but the design could change, and this other issue was where people could start thinking about, hey, if I was wanted to pick this feature up and redesign how all this worked, hey, let's build a whole discussion about what that means to redesign this feature.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
Yep, this is the way it works. This is not a workaround. This is the way it works. You can argue good or bad, but that is the way it works. I don't prefer directory ref like this anyway. I prefer component group, and then you put the directory on it, and then the component group can have a source, but anyway. So, yep. All right. Completely reasonable design. That is not how it works today. All right. 7472. Building Bootstrapper generates WiX 305 unable to read package. This is, the MSI was missing feature components, and I think, Bob, you've already picked this up, right?
It is fixed in WiX 5.
Cool. So let's go ahead and bring this in 401, just because that error message is not at all helpful. I saw the fix and it's small, so I think we could bring it over.
All right.
And it'll just save us one more of those, hey, something went wrong kind of things. WiX 4 Harvest project does not harvest reference dependencies, 7475. That is possibly true. Cool. That could be up for grabs if someone wants to work on that kind of problem. I do not.
Is this the project output group problem?
Could be. Yeah, it's like you have to get your project output groups right and other things, and it's a hard problem. I know because we've solved it in FireGiant, but it's not trivial, and Heat is a mess. So if someone wanted to go solve it, they could go do so. 7476 is closed. Unable to use TLS from a CA. Oh, this will turn into a discussion.
Yep.
All right. So that is, I'm going to assume, being discussed, and if it has to come back to an issue, it'll come back. Oh, I hit refresh. Probably shouldn't have done that. Director of empty custom table. All right, 7480. Empty custom table not created in MSI. Custom tables in WiX 4 are much more complicated the way they get handled.
Well, custom table now has custom table ref, so we've done quite a bit to separate out.
Yes.
It worked in 3 was kind of weird.
Yep, it was both a ref and a definition,
yeah.
and you could get into really strange situations to make it work.
I'm curious if a custom table ref would create an empty table.
Isn't it the same as ensure table?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Just having custom table creates a definition, and there's no reference to it. It's not going to go into the MSI. That is, arguably better behavior than in 3. But I'm picturing that a custom table ref would, essentially replicate the V3 behavior. But there's also ensure table. So
Christopher's gonna take a quick look. Either way, this is a change in 4 to clean up some of the complexities of some of the weirder behaviors of custom table, but it did add this extra step that if you have an empty table, you had to go ref it to bring it in. Or if you had a table off somewhere, you had to ref it to bring it in. So yeah, that's not surprising. And custom table ref, I thought, was just an ensure table alias to be clean, right? Like, this is the ref perfectly for this kind of thing.
Well, it's also that's how you add rows.
Right.
So I'm thinking an empty custom table ref would.
I don't know if it'll let you do that.
Oh, content might be required.
It might be. I don't know.
Okay.
Chris is going to try it. Custom tables are pretty brutal in WiX 4 too. They were challenging to bring along. To fit in the new model. I know we fixed this problem in V3, but it does expose this issue. So, all right. Either way, this is not an issue. It is a change in behavior from V3 to V4. That's true. Fortunately, not many people have custom tables, or they had rows and things like that. And the case where you will hit this is if you have your own custom table for like an extension or a custom action you're writing. That is the best or most likely case where you could hit that.
But an ensure table always works.
And an ensure table will work around the issue. And we'll see if the empty custom table. Christopher said he can go try it. So he'll go try that. Either way, the answer is ensure table or empty custom table ref.
And to just make really sure.
Yeah, custom table ref works. All right, that's good.
Cool.
Yeah. Good. So yes, that is a change for V3. And there is a reason for it because there are bad things in V3 that you should now avoid in V4. But if you have an empty table you want to pull in, you have to ref it. All right. 7482, fatal error when decompiling dialog table. Yeah, this was just bad code. I saw this diff. Yep. We should take this to 401 too. Okay. We've taken a few other decompiler changes. I saw you added a test for it. It's a small change. We can go from there. 7484, custom extension causes WiX to have unhandled system argument null exception. That's possible. The extension is running inside WiX, so if your extension crashes, your value will explode. And if you look at it from the MS build command line, I think, or if you look at the log file, there will be a call stack with this. But the way the Visual Studio cuts this, you only get one line, so you don't actually see the call stack. That's probably pointing into your extension. So yes, this can happen.
Also, from the command line, you can get a bin log.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
bin logs are the best thing ever.
That's true. Bin log is a much easier way of seeing the errors and stuff like that. Or just debug in, and you'll see the exception being thrown. So yeah, extensions can cause WiX to throw this 001 exception, which is essentially the something horrible went wrong, completely unexpected, bad place. And we shouldn't have any in WiX. And if an extension causes it, then we need to fix the extension. Or if this is a custom extension, that extension needs to be fixed. This is not unexpected.
Yeah, extensions run in proc inside WiX.
Yeah.
So
well,
any exception they throw is going to bubble out.
And extensions can create bad data that then cause WiX to crash, to throw WiX 001s later. So you have to, we do give extensions significant access to the internal build pipeline, which gives them lots of power. But as Uncle Ben says, with great power comes great responsibility. So yeah, you can't mess stuff up or you will blow WiX up. And I know that because I've done it. Could you log inner exception or something? No, the exception's being logged. It's just Visual Studio is not showing it to you. It's all there. The whole stack is there. You just have to do it. And this is the specific WiX exception. This is the exception that says something internally blew up.
Extensions.
Yeah, I mean, blew up. We could try to, I guess we could wrap every extension point in WiX with a catch that then takes that exception and puts it in a WiX exception and throws it back and says, hey, this extension blew up. And if we had lots of people writing extensions that were blowing up WiX and blaming us, we probably would do that. But that hasn't been a problem in the past. So, yeah. And no, there's no, to write a WiX extension, you have to understand WiX itself. It's not a, yeah, let's just write a WiX extension. There's lots of data structures you have to understand to go through there. Don't generally to be clear, Christopher, the unhandled exception in this case is almost certainly coming from the extension itself or being generated by the extension into WiX. If this is just, if you don't have the extension and it still hits this, then yes, that would be bad. So, all right, moving on, 7490. Signed containers is in function for detached bootstrapper containers. People use detached bootstrapper containers. All right. So something has gone wrong. Well, null. Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know that that's interesting. Isn't that what happens when isn't that the first container resolution message?
It's hard to know. Signed detached containers are creating problems. A bootstrapper has detached containers, side loads, and they are signed. I don't know what side loads means, and they are signed. Execute the bootstrapper. Yeah, there's probably not a test for this in to verify that signed detached containers work and burn.
I can see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, we probably should put it 401 and take a look at it because it looks like it's pretty broken. The error is found. Oh yeah, the 70002 is not found. But if these are all nulls, that's also a problem. I'm assuming that he didn't modify those. So it's like something about signing the containers very much confused burn if all this data is correct and the stars are the ones replacing his paths. Right? Because this is null is a bad sign all over the place.
Usually, but again, I'm thinking that's the attempt to acquire the container, and that's where I'm
the package is null. I see. So the container is 1. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right. I haven't seen many logs with detached containers because we thought nobody uses them. So yeah, it's probably something's busted. Yeah, the remove star is kind of sketchy too. He's like swapped out his containers for like pre-built ones, I think, or some side loads or something. I don't know what it's doing.
Oh.
Like there's definitely a game being done here.
Yeah, that's all very interesting. I can't say that I've ever looked at the signing targets for containers.
Well, detached containers are interesting.
Yeah, well, that's what attached container is, easy, relatively speaking.
Yeah. Well, we should probably at least create a test for this.
Yeah, agreed.
Signing is always kind of a pain, but we have something that signs, right? Somewhere with a fake certificate. I don't. We'll have to figure that out. That's such a. Doesn't have to be valid. It just has to be able to be to sign it. Well, there has to be. I don't know. We'll have to see. Yeah, we should look at that. Probably are lacking a test on detached containers, so something like this could slip through. And we'll then see if this creates the problem. If we create a test and everything works without that, then we be like, all right, cool. Then whatever you're doing in this game here is confusing things, and that'll be outside. But I don't think we have a test for this, so that's probably the place to start.
Yep. Flip a coin for who does this.
I'll probably have to jump into it, unless you want to jump on the grenade. I don't know.
I'll jump first.
All right. It's creating a test is the first thing, so yes, like just use the feature. The hard part is getting a signature into the test that we can sign with, probably. Whew. All right, so of those, that one's probably the scariest, I think, of 401. Well, because it's the only one we took at 401 that already have a fix. Dump the contents. Yeah, Jacob, I really do think we're probably missing a test, and it's very possible we've broken signing for detached containers. It's just, knowing what I know about detached containers, I have a hard time blaming somebody else knowing that's the space of it. But all right.
At least at first.
At first, right? When we have the test in there, or if we find a test, we'll be like, oh, there was a test. Rob was wrong. That would be great, because there are plenty of burn tests written without me by far. So that would be great. But detached containers are kind of a black sheep of the family. All right, I'm going to hit F5 on this to bring it up. And these are not in ascending order. I'm going to sort them the other way, please. Oldest. Yeah, there we go. Thought that's how I had it. Okay, so let's talk about 401 issues that are open right now. I've been slammed and then sick at work, so I have not made progress on my 2 issues, which I think are the only 2 issues open in 401 right now. Yep. These 2, the package state. This is not a hard. I just have to do all the work to do it, and I doubt this is hard. And Bob said he might even take it off my hands. And then the signed containers. All right, so basically the issues that are open are the ones that are assigned to me, or the one that just came in today. In fact, this was open 5 hours ago. So today. So 401 still, I think, is like, oh wait, built-in bootstrapper. Oh, this is already fixed, right? Yeah. So yeah, so we're still looking just fine for 401 release date. Essentially, we haven't taken many that we haven't had fixes for pretty rapidly. I guess that's what we're saying, which means that the fixes so far have been really small. The signed containers for a detached bootstrapper might be the worst case, I think, Bob. Like, that's probably going to be the worst one we had in this 401.
Yeah, at least for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah. So, that's 401. The statement, the takeaway from here is that, we are looking okay for the next 3 weeks, essentially. And we're going to hang out here with these 3. Well, we'll get these closed before those next 3 weeks. But we're going to keep this open for the next 3 weeks to kind of suck up as many of the 4 issues we can, so that when we are done, we are not doing a 402. We can just focus on 5, because I think, Bob, you pointed out that there was like 6 months of dev-ish time on WiX 5.
Yeah, plus or minus.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, we probably should, if we're going to do anything at 5, we probably should be thinking about that. Hey, Ron's here. Ron, great to have you. All right, so speaking of 5, let's go talk about the 5 future lists. So we started on this last week, or 2 weeks ago, sorry, last meeting, to kind of trim down these things that we thought, that we had over many years, been throwing stuff into future, and we're now cleaning this out of, are we going to do this now, or are we just going to do this in 5? So let's continue down that path with the V future, starting at the top here, 5494, add search capability inside XML. And he took this issue. Wait, am I going oldest to newest or newest to oldest? This is not sorted correctly either. Oh yeah, it is. Oldest to newest. All right, good. Sorry. All right. I think this person took it and said that they would be interested in writing a WIP. Oh, they have, kind of. I would think we need to put them up there. Okay, cool. All right, we need to kind of tweak this a little bit and bring all the parts up going forward, but it sounds like we could assign this person and bring it up to 5. And can you continue this discussion about these parts, right?
Yes, I believe that's correct.
Yep, and see how it goes. And I will edit some of this to. This is the. Not many people have done this yet, but we're moving the WIPs into GitHub, and so it's more of the edit this part up here with the whole issue. So you keep editing this part at the top, but that's all right. We'll get that sorted out. The experience is new to people. We'll sort that out. All right. 5854. Oh, how perfect timing. People complaining on Twitter last night about documentation again. Please put this in 5 because I'm going to write up some things about documentation. That's why I kept this thing around. Go from there. So more to talk about in that space. All right. 5936. Patch created using purely WiX does not include changes to XML file table. Oh, okay. This is marked as WIP. Oh, filtering for extension data. Yep. All right. This needs a WIP, and I think it can go up for grabs, right? I think we can remove breaking change and enhancement, just WIP required, and put it up for grabs.
Okay.
Probably going to slowly burninate the enhancement tag. All right. Accessibility 5961. I think we could put that in our accessibility bucket, and it is, right? As someone needs to sweep through all the accessibility challenges in MSI UI. Right?
I'll go try to dig that up.
No, I think we just put it out. Oh. Is there I didn't think we did anything more than tag accessibility. Did we? Maybe there was.
We have the master accessibility bugs.
Ah, okay. Oh, I see. And then you're linking them all to that one?
Correct.
Gotcha. That makes sense too. All right. 6085, package not cached after bundle upgrade. This sounds like a bug. I wonder. Nope, probably not fixed. All right. Remove. Yeah, okay. Oh, this is dependent bundles. Okay. Oh yeah, this can go up for grabs if anybody wants to kind of tackle this, unless you want it, Bob.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Yep. Someone can dig into that. Smart cabbing not working in some cases. 6220. Interesting. Yeah, we have smart cabbing is always on now in WiX 4. So let's go ahead and put that up for grabs. If someone wants to go do more work in smart cabbing, they could to refine how it's done. It just brought the V3 behavior over. So yeah, to handle that case too, someone could do that if they wanted. So we can tag that up for grabs. 6350. Burn does not repair MSI when slipstreamed with minor update patch. Oof. Interesting narrow scenarios. Yep. Bob, you have the most knowledge on this.
Yeah.
Or had. You may have to reload
it. Well, yeah, I'll definitely have to reload it. Patching knowledge is the kind that leaks immediately. But I will go ahead and take this to dig in again. No, it's already assigned to me. I cannot guarantee that I can actually do something with it, but.
Right. By the way, if anybody in chat's like, ooh, I want that issue, go ahead and just put the number in there because there's a little delay between chat and us. If you're like, I want to work on 6085, that'd be great. Just say, hey, I like 6085. We'll take it up for grabs, give it to you, and put it in WiX 5. We're kind of going through with the, we could chat and work our way through it so we don't take forever going over all these issues with the assumption that a lot of people aren't going to want to talk about these things. All right, 6423. Migrate compiler backend error message to the compiler or appropriate backend. Yeah, let's put this in 5. I want to do more of this. We started getting a little bit cleaner. And we need to do more. There are a lot of error messages in data that are just so super specific. They do not need to be in data.
Yeah.
No extension would ever use them. So that'll be a nice clean. And I don't know that I'll get all of them, but I could just do another pass at least in 5 and maybe put this in vFuture when I get as far as I get in there. So 6472, Burn should support multi-instance MSI packages. That would be a great feature.
Non-trivial.
Does anybody want to take it? Go away. All right. Up for grabs. Yep, it's not trivial. As Bob said, not trivial. 6783, send embedded progress should support additional data. Interesting.
Who opened that? Yeah.
It's more or better messages.
It's more detail.
Yeah, I see. This is for something running a burn bundle. Right.
Yeah, the protocol has a lot of data, but the protocol should support sending along. Like, if there's an error, we should get as much detail as possible. And right now, I don't remember exactly what is supported, but it wasn't much.
Yeah.
And same thing with progress. It's like it's tough to provide rich information, which is half the reason that I don't know, a third of the reason that people use external bundle runners is
progress
to run it and not just have it's running.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yep.
I'll take this as and it's already assigned to me. So
yep.
I'll take this as maybe it's a trivial thing. The hardest problem is the protocol changes.
Yeah, and how to do that in a way. It's like add new messages, maybe? I don't know.
Right.
I have to think about that. All right, 6788. Allow MSI product version to be any valid WiX version. I still like the idea of this thing. People keep telling me it's not an interesting problem to solve, though.
That's mostly me.
Yeah, probably not in 5. You can put it up for grabs. I mean, I still like the idea of it is still, I don't. It's more of a completeness kind of thing than it is a utility. I don't know that anybody would ever use it for real. So yeah, it's just kind of, yeah, you could do that. Anyway, all right. 6821, add ability to specify that custom action reference depends on architecture. Ah, yes, the architecture switch.
Yes.
Are we going to tackle this at 5?
No. There is a simple solution.
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's simple. I don't think simple is good enough.
We have something that works right now that you could kind of fudge your way through with the preprocessor. Right.
Yes.
The suffix and that kind of stuff.
Yes. If you assume this works for all of the WiX extensions because they're consistent in their use of the prefix and the suffix, and the build short preprocessor variable that I added solves the problem.
If you follow the pattern. If you follow the pattern.
Again, all the WiX extensions do. For your own stuff, you would have to adopt that pattern to take advantage of build short, which I can recommend.
Yeah, it's a good pattern to follow. It's probably the solution right now, and it's not high on our list for 5, given the other things we're looking at for 5.
Yeah, well, the solution I do think needs to pivot on more than just architecture.
Yeah, this is not an easy thing to solve.
Oh,
It needs
well,
it needs a real deep thinking about how to best to solve that.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
So how about we keep this one in vFuture for now? Because
Okay.
we want to do this.
Yeah.
I just don't think. Looking ahead at what is ahead of 5, I've seen your list. I know it's on my list, and I'm like, yeah, I just don't think this one's going to bubble the top of those right now. But maybe 6, we try to tackle it again.
Yeah.
If the workaround wasn't sufficient, I'd be more worried about it. But because the workaround's working, and given the time, we really have to like take a good run at that one.
Yeah.
The design of that one's gonna be interesting. 6935, Wix should provide a default feature. This is your pet project.
One of them.
One of your pet projects.
Yeah, I have. I played around with this in late in V4, and it's doable. And basically, the idea is, if you don't have a feature listed in your authoring, Wix should just give one to you.
Yep.
That kind of avoids it avoids a bunch of blah kind of busy work XML. Granted, you get them from templates usually, but it was watching Rob's Deployment Dojo show that just made me go, oh yeah. And I've been writing the Fire Giant Wix tutorial, and when you have to explain every one of these lines, it's just like, ugh. So yeah, I think Wix should do more of kind of the smart thing for the simple case.
And a lot of packages today end up with only one feature.
Well, yeah, that's yeah, we're not re-implementing all of Office in a single MSI. If you're using a bundle, you probably have smaller single feature packages, and even if you have bigger packages, I don't know, features are kind of like early 2000s things.
Yeah, some people still do feature selection; it'll work, but for all those people that don't, you don't have to worry about it. All right.
Yep.
6947, reevaluate use of compare string lookup to with compare string ordinal. Go ahead and give that one to me. I am interested in going through and looking at that.
Okay.
This will clean up our code quite a bit now that we can use compare string ordinal.
That's what, Vista?
7, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think it's 7, but even 7 is gone now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. Actually, the number of Windows 10 versions that are gone is crazy as well.
Yeah.
All right. Service install template type enumeration missing per user service option 7067. So this one, someone pointed out somewhere else that these, you can't start. That these aren't actually intended to be used by people. Or something like that.
They are primarily designed for the OS.
Yeah,
they're OS system services that run in user context. The biggest issue is that they require a per machine service. So it's like you can't suddenly create a per user install, which was kind of my biggest hope. Is that you per user installs could start to become a bigger deal.
So I think we just leave this up for grabs, and if someone wants to keep track and tackle this when the Windows installer supports it, which I don't know that it ever will, I think we just keep it up for grabs, and somebody could pick it up if they ever want to kind of run down Windows and all the people that would take to make that thing work.
Yeah, that works.
But it's interesting, but it's not meant to be used. All right. Someone, Painter, has 7166, add a Wix UI to omit the EULA because showing EULAs in the UI is so passé. No, I don't know. But an option to not have a UI. So yeah, this could be done.
Yeah, I'll look. There might be, I think there's another issue. Because basically we have now, especially in Wix 4, you have to use an extension because of the whole platform-specific custom actions thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole bunch of stuff we can do in an extension.
Yep.
So I'll see if I can find an existing issue to tie this to.
Okay. So yeah, lots of options that could be done there. Harvest directory fails with can't find system runtime. Yep. This can go up for grabs. Yep. One of the many interesting challenges with Heat was trying to load, I think this case, CLI issues. It's like, yeah. Revisit the need desire for WiX Quiet Exec 7228. I don't, what? 32, wow, WiX. I don't understand.
Now that we have 64-bit custom actions for everything,
I see.
I suspect that the old 32-bit custom action known as WiX Quiet Exec 64 is actually needed.
Is needed?
I doubt that it is needed.
Oh, okay. It's no longer. Got it. Right.
I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I discovered this, as you can tell, February 17th, pretty late in V4, so I didn't want to, remove it at that point or whatever.
You want to do it in 5?
I think we should do it in 5, yes.
All right. Well, it's already signed to you, so into 5 it can go. 7253 WCA initialize should log more information. Oh, it doesn't give. It gives you 4000. Yeah, that's cute.
It is. Oh wait, no, it wasn't cute at all. It did make it tough sometimes to figure out what you were.
Yeah.
Which version you were actually looking at. Luckily, the informational version is available pretty easily, so I will take this in 5.
All right. 7311 multi-SZ insert string doesn't double null terminate when called with the first value. Right. When called with the first value. So if it has a single string, it doesn't double null terminate. A new multi-string buffer. Yeah, there's a pull request for this. Do we take this? I don't know the implications of this.
Well, we should take the issue in 5 and review the.
Okay, that's
the pull request.
You're right. That's the right thing to do. That is the right thing to do. 7319 force load DLLs from system 32 and burn stub. Yes, we should definitely do this.
I agree.
Windows did what I asked them to do, actually, and we need to do the work to take advantage of it. And it could have lots of knock-on effects, which we will need to address as well. So yeah, we should do that. This will be a fun one to see what it breaks.
I'm not terribly worried about the breaking.
All right. So how do we do? Okay. There's a few that didn't. There's more of these.
I'm still.
All right. Still typing. Okay. So we've been through vFuture. We've been through v401, and we've been through triage. If I hit a 5, are these gone? Not quite. Yes, it needs more text. All right. So we're down to the things that we're talking about. We have cleaned out our backlog of v5. We have all the known issues as of now in 401, and they're assigned to people and they will get fixed. And then we have no issues left in triage today. All right, that is good. So that leads us to questions, comments, things people want to talk about. My hope is that now that we've cleaned out the V5 kind of backlog of things, that maybe next week, instead of covering backlog work, we will be able to talk about some of the big things that Bob and I are bringing. So if you have whips that you're planning to do, go ahead and get them open. That would be the ideal. So we could talk about the big things being done. Note that big things are, there's only 6-ish or so months to get them done. So, big things are relative. But we can start talking about those things. If there's other things people want to ask, comment, discuss, now's the time to type those. I think we will stay on this plan for the next meeting being on the 30th, which would be the Tuesday before the 401 release. So if anything pops up on that Tuesday, then we would maybe that could cause us to adjust the 401 date. Then we'll discuss them then. I don't know what that would be at this point. And that's all I have. 2 weeks from now is May 30th. We're gonna get 3 meetings in May. Does that mean May is a long month, or is it just kind of the way it landed on the calendar? Feels like a long month.
Yeah, it's 31 days.
Yeah, I don't know.
But so do other months.
Some months do. This one just feels longer. All right, so I'm filling space. Seems like people don't have any other questions, things going on. So that means we will be back in 2 weeks, the same time, same place. We will do issue triage. We will look at 401. There are no more V5 issues to talk about, so we'll talk about the bigger things that we'll be working on in WiX 5. Okay. All right. Well, given the silence out there, I think we're good. So you guys take it easy. I am doing a Deployment Dojo show tomorrow. If you want to show up, that's at 12:30. That would be, like 2 hours from, was that 2 hours from now plus, I can't do that, 22 hours from now? No, 26 hours from now. 26 hours from now. If you want to show up that. Anyway, and if not, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Until then, all of you guys take it easy. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.
So much filling space to make sure that any questions are out there.
The lag seemed pretty severe this time.
Was it? Okay. I have a hard time keeping up. Like, when things are behind, it's like, I'm talking and reading. It's hard. Talking, reading what's on the screen here, and trying to read chat is a thing. Trying to keep everything up. So
just at the beginning, it was like 5 or 6 seconds of delay.
Yeah. Well, it's magical that it works at all.
It is pretty magical.
So I'm all good with that. All right. So that puts us in an okay spot. I guess that's it. Pretty simple. If you have things to do, go do them. We'll see you guys.